All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to The Truth with Ben Jokes, your trusted channel for political analysis. Governor Mustwang says genocide ongoing in Plateau, confirms 64 communities under terrorist control. Can you imagine that? 64 communities have been taken over by terrorists. Yet RIBADU went to Plateau State and he was laughing happily. I think the state governor should start looking at raising about 1,000 or more men and arming them, training them and arming them to curb this thing. It may sound absurd, but that is the only way to save this state. And the question is, if he doesn't do it, who will do it for Plateau State? If he is still considering the fact that the law does not permit him to do that, let him remember that his fellow governors in states like Kano are controlling his bar police. His bar police is an unconstitutional security outfit that is even more powerful than the Nigerian police in the northwest states where it exists. You will find them arresting non-Muslims for eating during fasting and all that. So why should you, the governor of Plateau State, not form a strong security outfit when 64 of your communities have been taken over by terrorists? There should be no reason why. Now, let us look at the top stories. National Security Advisor Nuhu RIBADU made an obnoxious statement while addressing kidnapping in Nigeria. RIBADU is now blaming Nigerians who pay ransom to free their loved ones from kidnappers. He said they are the ones encouraging kidnapping in Nigeria and he warned them to stop. And Nigerians were like, so should we begin to abandon our loved ones in the hands of kidnappers? And next is that story on massive defections set to happen within the APC. This defection is mainly from northerners, and when it happens, it will definitely break the APC. And then many APC chiefs approached Buhari to stop these massive defections, and the man declined. He said there's nothing he can do about it. Before I show you details of these top stories and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you these videos. There is a video here from Governor of Nasarawa State, and after hearing the lies and foolishness he spewed in this video, I began to pity the people of Nasarawa. No wonder Maraba is the way it is. See the video.
He has been able to carry the country forward in some areas. One of such areas is, my background is the oil and gas sector. One of the areas that had been eating Nigeria deep into corruption is the area of subsidy. He had the guts, he had the courage as a president to come in and say, first day we remove subsidy. One of the biggest areas of corruption in this country that had nearly killed Nigeria and the central bank is the area of FX.
Foreign exchange.
Foreign exchange.
Right.
Tinubu has come and he has been able, actually, to say that there are no more multiple markets for the foreign exchange. We are going to unify it. Now, every one of the things he did will have to come with its own consequences, remember. Every step he takes will have advantages and disadvantages. Now, somebody will tell you, what exactly is the advantage of, say, removal of subsidy? One of the biggest advantages is the government is no longer borrowing to pay. Instead, the government is making money to give the states more money. And so there is no, both the federal government and the states, instead of sharing somewhere around 750 billion, today they are sharing sometimes 3 times that because of that. So there is no state in the federation, Nasarawa being a good example, that is receiving less than twice what we used to receive before the removal of subsidy. That is the reason why today most of the banks will tell you the states are not borrowing. Instead, they are using their own resources. Today we are doing, in these 2 years in Nasarawa State, I have done more projects than I have done in the first 4 years of because I'm a second-time governor. Yet, I did not borrow money. I'm using actually the resources that we are using internally.
And that is accruing to you from the federal government?
It's accruing,
it's
yes.
Not
from
your
the federation
internally
account.
Generated revenue?
Internally generated revenue has also moved up.
Right.
Yeah, we came in and made 7 billion for the whole year. Today, we are generating roughly about 30 billion for the whole year. So even internal generated revenue has moved.
Right.
You know, so those are the kinds of things that have...
You saw that. He said he was able to do more projects under Tinubu than his previous 4 years because Tinubu doubled their allocation. But when Charles mentioned internally generated revenue, he said it moved from 7 billion to 30 billion. So you tax your people triple, almost quadruple, and then you give the entire credit to this administration. Does that make sense? Then he said Tinubu has done well in oil and gas sector and in the area of foreign exchange. Is this man all right? These are literally the two sectors where this regime's failure is most pronounced. They took petrol from 192 naira to over 1,000 naira, impoverishing Nigerians in the name of subsidy removal. But when Minister of Finance Wale Edun was asked how they spent subsidy savings, he demanded a closed-door session without the press. And dollar moved from 750 naira to $1 to 1,600 naira to $1 in the name of we are no longer backing the naira. But just yesterday, we saw that the CBN in the first quarter of 2025 alone had spent $669 million backing the naira. So what achievement is this governor talking about? Go to his state, Nasarawa state, and the level of poverty you will witness, the level of poverty and hunger there will shock you. And their governor is sitting here to praise Tinubu's policies. This is shocking. The next video here is from Showore. Let's take a look.
Is there any of the agitation that is new? It does look to me like you have described exactly what has gone on for years in the country. Is there anything new in what you are agitating about on the streets of Nigeria today?
Well, you are saying that if someone is if someone took ill and hasn't been cured of the illness or ailment, we should stop applying medicine so that they can survive. That's what it sounds to me like you are repeating. We're just saying that it may not be new, but it is now starting to threaten the existence of the people of Nigeria. You cannot have a country where people have nothing to eat, where people have unemployment on a larger scale. You have some of the worst situations in terms of inflation, and then you tell people, young people who are not being cared for, that they can't speak on TikTok, they can't talk on Twitter. They can't express themselves. You slam on them, pretty much kind of colonial era type of law, which used to be called sedition, is now Cybercrime Act, which was promulgated, by the way, in talk. And if they do, you can throw them in jail for as long as you want. One young person known as Truma spent 50 days in detention until like 2 weeks ago when we got him out because he made a TikTok broadcast that insulted, according to the police, the wife of the president. Before then, some ladies spent the last Christmas and New Year in detention and in prison because he said something that the son of the president did not, according to the police, insulted the son of the president. So you are holding the entire country at the behest of a family that is performing poorly. It doesn't matter how long it takes. People are just now fighting back, maybe. You see a more robustly and intense resistance against the culture of oppression in the country.
You heard that. Showore is absolutely right there. A country that is blessed with everything, giving absolutely nothing back to its people. Yet you want everybody to keep quiet. And Nigeria police has already been voted the worst police force in the world. So there isn't much to say about them. And I have told people to stop saying that we don't have enough police for over 200 million Nigerians. The police does not serve 200 million Nigerians. As a matter of fact, they don't serve up to 2 million Nigerians. I don't think they do. They arrested a woman for insulting Remi Tinubu, arrested another person for disrespecting Sheyi Tinubu. Tell me, does the police serve those people who were arrested for merely talking about other Nigerians like themselves? Of course not. And this is why some people refer to this country as a zoo. Now, let us take the top stories. First is that statement from the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, blaming Nigerians for paying ransom to kidnappers for their loved ones. And next is that story of massive decamping set to happen in the APC. Top APC chiefs begging Buhari to help them stop this decamping, but Buhari says there is nothing he can do. Let's begin with that update from Nuhu Ribadu. Look at how the papers reported it. Stop paying ransom to criminals, Ribadu warns families. The National Security Advisor Malam Nuhu Ribadu on Tuesday received over 60 victims recently rescued from captivity in Zangon, Kataf, southern Kaduna following sustained military operations. The victims, who had been held for over a month, include a deputy director in the civil service and a relative of Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka. The group, comprising 35 males and 29 females and children, was formally handed over to the Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaro Abubakar, during a brief ceremony in Abuja. Speaking at the event, Ribadu issued a stern warning to Nigerians against the payment of ransom to kidnappers, describing it as a practice that fuels the criminal enterprise. Let me urge families and communities to stop paying ransom to these criminals, Ribadu said. We have never paid money to secure the release of any victim. Each payment only encourages them to keep going. The more you give, the more they demand. The NSA attributed the successful rescue of the victims to the efforts and resilience of the Nigerian Armed Forces and other security agencies. Let me specially commend our armed forces and security services. Their tireless pursuit of these criminals is the reason we are here today, he noted. Ribadu also acknowledged Bola Tinubu for his consistent support of the nation's security architecture. Thanks to the commitment of Mr. President, we are making progress daily. However, the release of victims is not the end. We will continue to pursue the perpetrators and ensure they face justice. You heard that. So because you are receiving 60 rescued victims, you are telling Nigerians to stop paying ransom. What is 60 compared to the number of Nigerians currently in captivity? And nobody is trying to encourage kidnappers, but how can you watch your loved ones die in captivity when there's something you can do about it? Citizens should watch their loved ones die because Ribadu says so. How many times has the government itself paid ransom and they lied that it was rescue operations to make it look as if they are working? We will be glad if you can stop kidnappings, but while you are failing at your job, don't come out and give Nigerians such a silly warning ever again. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that update talking about the crisis within the APC began making the rounds. Now, the secret reason behind the visit of APC governors to Buhari in Kaduna has been revealed. They actually went to beg him to stop the imminent massive defection of many key northerners from the APC because this could break the party. But Buhari said there was nothing he could do about it, that people should be left to take the decisions they want to take. Look at how the papers reported it. APC governor begged Buhari to prevail on Malami, Nwajioba, other loyalists not to leave party. Fresh details have emerged following a visit by governors elected on the platform of the All Progressive Congress to former President Muhammadu Buhari at his Kaduna residence on Monday. The delegation, led by Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma, chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, held a closed-door meeting with the former president, during which they commended him for his achievements while in office. The APC governors noted that Buhari's administration laid a strong foundation for future development in the country. Although the visit was publicly described as a Salah homage, sources revealed that the underlying purpose was to seek Buhari's intervention in halting the defection of his loyalists from the APC to the Social Democratic Party. The governor's appeal reportedly stemmed from growing speculations about potential defections ahead of the 2027 general elections. The defunct Congress for Progressive Change, CPC, a key bloc within the APC, remains highly influential, with Buhari regarded as its central figure. There are fears within the APC that if this bloc were to exit, it could spell doom for the party nationwide. The meeting comes amid a wave of defection by Buhari's allies from the APC to SDP. Recall that former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai was the first to publicly announce his departure, claiming he had secured Buhari's blessings before leaving the party. Some former ministers who served in Buhari's cabinet were said to be perfecting plans to move en masse to the SDP. Just as in Buhari's Katsina home state, some members of the APC have defected to SDP. The source said that the governors particularly asked former President Buhari to speak to former Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami San, and former Minister of State for Education, Honorable Chukwuemeka Nwajuba, not to dump the APC. A source who was privy to the discussion at the closed-door meeting and pleaded anonymity said that the former president seemed to have distanced himself from the issue, stating that individuals like Honorable Chukwuemeka Nwajuba and others should decide their own party affiliations, and as such, he cannot interfere with their political choices, as this has remained his trait all through his political life. It was, however, gathered that Buhari's stance has, however, sparked speculations about potential defections and their implications for APC's future. The meeting between the APC governor and Buhari came at a critical time for the party as it navigates internal challenges and external pressures ahead of the 2027 general elections. You saw that. Massive defection looming. El-Rufai already left. Tinubu's political advisor Hakim Baba Ahmed resigned days ago. Former APC Vice National Chairman Usman decamped. This is just the beginning. And this is the same Buhari that Tinubu cabinet has been calling a failure, that he destroyed everything before they came. Now they are running to the same failure. If a failure like Buhari is all you have to run to in terms of crisis, then you are a certified disaster. But even Buhari has subtly rejected them. It doesn't matter where these people are decamping to at the moment. Let them just decamp first. Because the first thing I need is for the APC to scatter. The northern faction of the APC, let them pull out. Let the CPC pull out. I want to look at the APC and see only Ganduje, Mentawale, and a disgruntled Shetima. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. Nation First here says, these criminals in APC political party are only concerned about holding to power without providing any solutions to the problems facing the country. Evil men, that is it. And engineer Ishaq Muhammad here says, honestly, these APC governors begging Buhari to stop people like Malami and Nwajuba from leaving the party is just funny. If APC was doing well, would anyone be thinking of leaving? The truth is that the party is falling apart because it failed Nigerians. Since 2015, it's been one problem after another. Fuel scarcity, insecurity everywhere. The economy messed up and people suffering like never before. Now they are scared of 2027 because they know Nigerians are tired and ready to vote them out. All this begging won't change anything. APC is sinking and no one wants to go down with them. Let them keep trying, but they can't stop the change that is coming. We are watching and we are ready. Ishaq Muhammad, I hope all your people are ready. Oluwadamilare says APC will never recover again. They are gone. Nigerians are retaking the country. And Idris Dada here says APC has nothing to sell again than to impoverish Nigerian people. That is it. APC has come to kill, to steal, and to destroy. And this is what I've been trying to let Nigerians know. Imagine them going back to the same Buhari who they said destroyed Nigeria. Anytime they are talking about Tinubu's failure, they will be, very quick to take us back to what he meant on ground. Back to what he meant on ground, as if Tinubu himself did not say openly that he was the one that brought Buhari to power. He said Buhari had given up and he went to meet him in his home country and he said, no, don't give up, we can still do it. And after Buhari's first 4 years, he saw that the man was a disaster and he still supported him in 2019. But he came into power, became worse, and Tinubu and his cabinet, every opportunity they get, they bash Buhari. Now they are going back to him to beg his people not to decamp. And the man is saying it cannot work, that people must be allowed to do whatever they want to do. And I hope that all those that are planning to decamp go through with it. Let them just leave the APC first. I know some people may not be, comfortable with the fact that they are decamping into the SDP. The truth is that the SDP, as it is today, is the most stable opposition party. Labour Party has been infiltrated. We need to clear that first, send Abure away and all that. Just relegate him to the background. The PDP is not even a political party again. Wike has taken over everywhere. So SDP is the safest place to decamp to at the moment. And when they decamp and the APC crumbles, we can now look for how to work on the coalition from there. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una. Now I dey here, so don't go away. Don't go.
Sorry, though.